But anyway, the point is that after launching that university in India, and then, you know, wanting to develop, because the idea of that university in India was to develop for India an international Islamic university, like you have in Islamabad, you have it in Kuala Lumpur, you have it in Kampala, Uganda, you have it in Dhaka, Bangladesh, but you don't have it in India. You know, with the largest individual Muslim population of any of these countries, doesn't exist. You know, Aligarh was just a joke. It was not. Although people think of Aligarh Muslim University, it's not Muslim university. You know, really. Even the founder, he had all kinds of issues in his aqidah, and there are all kinds of issues there. It wasn't, and it isn't. So they needed this, but what I found, after trying to establish that international Islamic university there in Chennai, the authorities understood what I was trying to do.
Right.
So they made sure it didn't happen. By one, international professors. I was trying to bring them from no visas available.
Oh, okay.
International students. Students were going to embassies, local Indian embassies in their countries, and the people in the embassies were telling them, that isn't a university. It's fake. So we had these kind of struggles. There was a deliberate attempt to confine the university just to India. So even understanding that, okay, that this is the way it's got to be, I found teachers from different parts of India. I didn't want it to just be a Chennai Islamic University. I wanted it to be at least a national Indian Islamic University. And I also went to all the major cities across the country, Bangalore, Mumbai, Hyderabad, et cetera, et cetera. I went to, and I invited students to come. So the student body was a mixture from all over India. So at least, they would get to know each other, and understand the unity of the Ummah, the importance, etc. So I did that. I also launched an Islamic school from kindergarten to grade 12, prepared the staff and the faculty and the administration, etc., from an Islamic perspective, what is required. And, after I reached that point, everything was rolling. Then time for renewal of my visa, and it didn't get renewed.
Oh, okay.
That was the final straw, final stroke to try to cut it, make it, fail. So I had to go back to Qatar. And alhamdulillah, it was turned over to others, and it's still going. They're still producing hundreds of graduates. Yeah, it's still ongoing, but it didn't reach notoriety. It didn't reach, the rest of the Muslim world. It was just limited. And still students are coming from different parts of India and studying there. But the goal wasn't achieved. I couldn't achieve that goal there. So that's the point at which I decided to go online.
Okay.
Then I had already decided to go online from back in 2000, but didn't have the means or whatever. When we finally got the means, we started, because 2007, we started the Islamic Online University. As a free diploma, people can come and study anything, courses that we made available to them for free, no charges at all. Wow. So we were there learning from 2007 to 2010, we were learning how to run a university online, right? So 2010, that's when my visa was not renewed from India. That's when I decided to go fully online with the bachelor's program in Islamic studies. I should say that before that, I started it on the ground in Qatar.
Okay.
From 2007, basically, when I went online with the free program, on the ground, we did start a bachelor's uh, in Dawah on the ground in Qatar, using the facilities of the Qatar Guest Center. We started it based on the curriculum from the College of Dawah in Durman University in Sudan. I'd gone there. I was made a professor in their teaching staff there, connected to their Department of Dawah, and devised a Dawah program in English, which they needed because their Dawah school was producing graduates who didn't know English because everything was studied in Arabic.
Right. Okay.
But the goal of the department was that the graduates would go to the South and would spread Islam to the people of the South, whether in the North when they came from the South, or they'd go to the South and stay down there and teach down there. But they didn't know English. So it was just really an exercise in futility, preaching to the converted, as they say. So I brought this argument to them. So they said, okay, produce something for us in English. So I put the curriculum together. This is, again, necessity being the mother of invention, and produced the curriculum there and implemented it there in Qatar, on the ground. So what I did is from the time I started, and we started with one class, because I couldn't get a college. I tried to start a college of Dawah there in Qatar, but I wasn't able. The systems didn't allow it set up. The Sheikh Eid that I was working with, they liked the idea and everything, and it was based on the idea that we estimated about 20,000 people accepting Islam every year in the Gulf. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, Oman, Qatar, about 20,000. But we're not benefiting from them. They accept Islam, they're given birth some basics, and some of them go back to Christianity when they go back home to their countries, etc. We weren't getting out of it something that we could build with the future. So I suggested we start rather than a regular Dawah center, we needed a college, a Dawah college for these graduates, taking out of them those who will be interested in study, training them, then they go back home, or then they go to Dawah centers around the Gulf where they're fully equipped to do the Dawah effectively. So that was the intent. But from the beginning of the course, I brought a camera into the classroom, and for all the professors, their lectures were being recorded with the intention of putting it online once we completed the course. Chennai happened, and because I couldn't continue there, I prematurely started in 2010 the degree course, Bachelor's of Arts in Islamic Studies. So that's, how I ended up in that circumstance of the online university actually teaching Sharia or Islamic Studies completely online.
Amazing.